I tried to get on that, right, and I tried to use your redial.
Replay?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in the UK, man, but they don't like me. It just won't. It went.
Oh, I got to tell you about that. Hey, we're live, by the way. No.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Real quick, on that replay, for those who are listening to the replay, you got to fast forward, I think it's 6.
Yeah.
I was using it this morning because last night I was enjoying my birthday. And so, well, I know it's kind of pre-birthday last night. But anyways, you got to, when you call that number, you got to press 6, maybe like, I don't know, 30 times, because there's like maybe 5-minute delay or 6 or 7 minutes. I don't know how long.
That's
until she started till she started recording, because sometimes people talk and they forget to start the recorder or.
Well, actually, I think she did click the record button, but she had herself muted because she said she'd been talking, and then somebody let her know that we couldn't hear her.
Okay,
so even the leaders make mistakes sometimes. I mean, technology is one of those things that you gotta kind of figure it out as you go, right?
Hey, we get some feedback.
I'm getting a loop.
Yeah. On that replay for those who are listening to.
Hold a second. Oh, I gotta tell you about that.
We're looping, guys.
Yeah, somebody's playing it. Who's watching it?
Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute, it's me. Shut up.
Okay, there we go.
Go ahead, guys.
All right.
Sorry, I was trying to find you, and I thought, well, if I can't get on, at least I can listen to you guys.
It's all good.
Hello, Suspenders and a Belt.
Yeah. So if you're listening to the replay, if you want to listen to the replay to this call, I think it's only going to be available for a few more days. You got to press *6. It's going to give you some fast forward, rewind buttons on there, but I think it's 6 is going to fast forward and just keep fast forward until you hear Tracy Walker's voice. Then you can listen to the call. Okay?
Yeah, it was definitely 6. I did press it, but you have to press it a few times. So
yeah.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Hey, because it took me about a good half hour, Wayne, to figure that out.
Yeah,
I just thought, oh, maybe it's because I'm in the UK and it doesn't always work.
You.
But I took some good notes, man. I don't know if you guys can see it. I took a good page.
Yeah, I can see. Well, I can see the paper, but
Yeah,
I assume it's written on because I trust you.
There's something in there.
Yeah,
My chicken scratch. Burger. I can do my Elmo chicken dance today.
See, I knew you'd dance.
Yeah. You know that Elmo, man? He got the chicken dance.
No, man, that's more like foghorn leghorn.
I'm sorry. That was really loud. Sorry.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Good
Too
stuff.
bad, Wayne, too bad we don't have a video of when you were dancing behind me and I had no idea that you were making fun of me at the event. I had no idea what was going on, and here he's doing this thing behind me and everybody's laughing. I'm like, why are you guys laughing?
Yeah, it was funny. I was going like that. But it was funny. It was comical. But I did...
No, it wasn't.
Because I am a
funny.
character, as you all know by now. Anyone listening out there. They had... everyone knew about, Gumland Style, this like, hey, sexy, that one there. Well, everyone, I'm just going off track very quickly here for everyone, but it's not always about how great this company is. It's about us as people as well. But we was watching this guy, this Gumland Style, and it was on a big screen, right? And all of a sudden, from nowhere, I don't know why, but this guy who was Chinese looking came up to me and he had the glasses on and he looked like this guy. So I've walked him over to the screen. I said, oh, no, just back a bit. And he stood there and you had him as right in the middle of the screen with all the girls around him doing the dancing, and he looked like the bloke who was doing gunners, and I just backed up like that and went and stood with him. He was just in front of this screen. You had to be there, obviously, but it was fun.
No, you described it pretty well, that I could actually almost feel myself there. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
Wow.
Go on, guys.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man.
Happy birthday to Clinton. Happy birthday to... Clinton's birthday, everyone who's listening out there today, so we're just wishing him happy birthday.
Thank you so much. That's right. Thank you. All right. So And on behalf of my birthday, you know, I want to give back to everybody, and my partners here on the panel. We're going to give back to you because that's what we're here for. You know, yes, I could be out partying and stuff and having fun, which I'll do, you know. But you know what? I like to give back, you know, because there are some people less fortunate and not in a position to work from home like I am. And how can we give back? You know, like Tracy Walker talked about last night, you can give, and Tony Rush and Dave Wood, they all talk about giving back value. And what you can do with that value is actually change your life. You know, it wasn't long ago, man. Let's see, May about 10 years ago, I was spending I forgot how old I was turning then. I think I turned 30, and I was in the middle of Iraq, and it was my second tour, and at that time I was just, you know, it was just one of those things like, dang, I'm 30 and I'm in the middle of Iraq, and you think about things and you just wonder like, man, it's blessed. And at that point in my life, I was just like, man, it was a privilege to be alive at that moment, and then also it was a privilege to have like an overwhelming feeling of wisdom come over me. Like, you know, it's like I don't know, I kind of like felt balanced when I turned 30, but now turning 37, okay, I have to say this: I feel a feeling of being blessed that I'm able to work at home, which is different because back then when I turned 30, I was let's say away from my family. I went through a divorce, had a lot of painful things, you know, from being at war for 2 years back to back, you know. But now, you know, what do? We went to Kings Island this past weekend, and we celebrated, man. I got this thing, man. It's called a Fast Lane Pass. I keep it on because it was a reminder that, you know, you can pay for things in life to have special treatment, or you can be in a line like the rest of the pack and not have special treatment. Case in point, when I was in, you know, when I first got to Kings Island this past weekend, we were, and I'm not trying to take the thunder from anybody else, but I'm gonna just tell the story real quick, and then Wayne got a story. But anyways, we went to Kings Island this weekend, and there's this chair ride or whatever, some swings, and it went way up in the sky. And I was contemplating, I was like thinking, I'm like, man, it's like, should I go get that Fast Lane Pass? And then I got in line with my daughters, and I was like, man, this line sucks. And I had my Empowered Network Don't Be a Wussy shirt on, and I'm thinking like, man, I got $1,000 sales just, you know, in one day. I should use that money to go buy me some daggone Fast Lane passes because this sucks waiting in line, and I'm not a wussy. So I ran all the way up to the front, and I got the tickets. And then the rest of the day, we just spent our time jumping off rides and then getting right back on. I mean, people were looking at us like, you guys are weird. How do you guys do that? And I was thinking, like, you have the same option as me to spend an extra $60 and get a little flimsy tag that says Fast Lane on it, and you could do the same thing. And I could tell you this. It was a great experience because this was my daughter, Jayla, the one I was telling you about when she was just a baby the first time we went to Iraq, you know, 7 years ago. And when we actually got to ride rides together, and it was just like I don't know, it was emotional because it's like I remember when I first rode my roller coaster rides with my dad when I was younger, and now I'm doing it with my kids, and you can ride until your heart is content. You know what I'm saying? You could jump off a ride and ride back in. So I say to say this: you can go to an amusement park, or you can spend life waiting in lines and watching other people go by in the fast lane, or you can spend your life in the fast lane and doing whatever you want. Because it was a great benefit of riding rides and going back to my wife on the other side of the park with the little kids and relieving her for bathroom breaks. And then, you know, she do her thing. She have her little break because she's pregnant. and then we go run back on the other side of the park, and we go ride roller coasters and do it again. But if we were standing in line waiting, we'd have probably only rode 3 rides, if that, and my wife would have probably been in tremendous amount of pain because she had to wait till we came back from those rides. So I say that, and we'll get started. Wayne, just wanted to share that story. Sorry.
Hey, listen, I will share this story, but I'm waiting for the right moment, you know, so
Yeah.
it has to coincide with something before I release, you know.
Well, that's what I wanted to comment on that. What Clinton said. Anyway, I think that's such a perfect example of of life in general. So many people are just sitting there on the sidelines, not taking that leap and getting in the fast lane, like Clinton was saying. And and the sad thing is that like Tracy was saying on the call last night, you can see all the trouble all around you, if you're in a company and you see people getting laid off left and right, and and that sort of thing, but yet at the same time you're not preparing yourself, you're not taking the steps to position yourself for a situation where you can actually, move forward in your life. And she talks a lot about moving forward and, not staying stuck in the past. And sometimes you just got to take that kind of leap and, just get in, just do something to make a change in your life. And I love the way you talked about that, Clinton, because, I mean, so many times we just sit there and we watch all these other folks that are having, tremendous success, or they have, fancy cars or houses or whatever it is, and you just sit there and you're like wishing that something could happen, but yet at the same time you have as much power in yourself to do that as what those other people do. Just like anybody could have bought that pass, just like Clinton did, but so many people just stuck it out there in line, just waited, wasting their time, and when they could be in that fast lane, like you were saying, that you rode the rides a bunch of times compared to the people who probably only rode four rides total, and they're sitting there thinking that they're getting a deal because they're spending their time waiting in line, when in reality, that extra few dollars to get in the fast lane and be able to go on the rides and just keep on riding, you got a heck of a lot better deal than what they did, and you had a whole lot more fun too.
Yeah, and then there were some points where my daughter's, like my daughter Kiara, I gave her, we did a little $5 wager, just a small little wager, because I wanted her to embrace fear. So I told her she got to ride on the 3 most terrifying roller coaster rides, and I just gave her $5 or something like that, right? And she said the one was the Beast. The Beast was the one she was very scared of. And she got on it, and she was so scared going up the hill, man. She was so scared of it. She was like crying. And then she gets down, come around, and do the loops and all. Well, that was actually the vortex. But anyway, come down around and all that stuff. And then when she gets off the ride, she says, "I want to go right back." I said, "No." I said, "We can't." I said, "Just 5 seconds ago, you were saying, you were complaining, you were crying, you were shaking your boots. Now you're ready to go ride the rides again." I said, "We got to go let Mom go to the bathroom, and then we, and got to go to the water park, then we'll come back." And she's like, "No, I want to ride now." I was like, "We can't." But I say that to say this is because a lot of people will be the same way when it comes to paying $25 for getting an Empower Network. They'll be so scared. They'll be petrified. They'll be shaking in their boots, and then and they'll be thinking that the world's going to end and all this stuff. When in reality, it's not that bad on being on the other side. You can get in the fast lane. You can do the fun things that you want. My friend Sam, she just went to Miami. Go ahead.
That's so funny you say it's not that bad. As if there's anything bad about it, Clinton, really?
Well,
language, man, I love you, but that's got to go.
Okay.
It's
awesome being on the other side. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll change it. It's awesome being on the other side.
Clinton, do you like? That's my tribute. Read my tribute to you. You can see it now.
In the fast lane, right?
Fast lane.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. But I mean, life is all about being in a fast lane.
Hey, listen.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say you're absolutely right. You got choices, haven't you? And the difference between, I suppose, rich people and poor people is poor people don't have many choices. Rich people have all the choices. And there's 2 ways that you can look at. Rich, as in healthy, as in, got both your arms, both your legs, living in a rich, powerful way of life. Or you can look at rich as in, fortunes, making a lot of money, but not having no time, no freedom. So there's lots of different ways. But in this business, if you persist, and of course there's an income disclaimer, which I leave with Clinton here, tell you that in a second, if you persist with consistency, you can become rich, because there's loads of people in this business that are already doing that. But the difference being is that they're rich in not just in a monetary value, but in every single value, spiritually, monetary, financially. I don't know. You know, you can go through the list, and the difference is they've got more time, more freedom to spend and enjoy with their families. Exactly what Clinton's just said there. You know, get in the fast lane, man. Pay your $25. Get in the fast lane.
I know, what's the problem? I mean, I was saying all the leaders always send something every day on my Facebook that's uplifting me. I mean, Tony Rush, he had that picture yesterday where him and Jessica and the kids were heading out to go to see Sting. They had VIP passes. And then he got that book from you know, being a VIP. And then he had that picture, and had that great statement that Sting said, you know, it's not a miracle, it's hard work, and it's consistency. And, you know, then he sent a couple of videos. How cool is that? And, I mean, Ray Higdon always sends something every day. Paul Hutchings always sends something every day. Mike always sends. All the leaders, you know, Justin, everybody, send something to me, to my Facebook. I know that it's flashed out. I don't care. The thing is, they have that in their system where they automatically send stuff out to everybody every day to make them, you know that this system, not only does this system work, but this is a whole new paradigm where people are going out and they're getting the resources they need to really change the world. And I get so excited about it. It's just it's the best, coolest thing ever.
You know, one thing I was just looking at, I was just thinking about going back to that rack thing I was telling you about earlier. And one thing I was just thinking about is that being grateful that to make $1,000 in one day. And then I was looking at my Army salary. I was making $6 an hour. If you compare, I was making good money. I mean, don't get me wrong, $4,600 for a staff sergeant, or a sergeant E5. E5 making $4,600 tax free. But when you equate the 23 hours that I was being in a war zone, because you got to work 23 hours in a day, it came out to $6.66. You know, and to make $1,000, and I wasn't even at the computer, didn't even do anything that to generate that income other than how you do emails and all that stuff.
And you didn't have to dodge bullets.
Yeah, didn't have to dodge bullets. The income, the money came in. Didn't have to sell anybody. The system did itself. And I think about the poor souls, that the people that are watching this video and just like thinking like, is this possible? Like Tracy Walker talked about, I'm not selling. We're not here selling the gold. We're not at all selling the opportunity. The video, Dave Wood does that by himself. What did he say? He did like 3 terabytes of selling, of video selling, 3 terabytes of selling the video opportunity for us, and that equate into, I don't know, just figure out the billions, you know what I'm saying? But you have a guy like Tony Rush said, I got to break it down. You have a guy, one of my guys on my team made his first $100 day. You know what I'm saying? First $100 day online with Empower. You think about that, man, it's crazy, because how often, like I just told you, I made $153 a day in the Army. How often do you see people creating a residual income of $100 per day? That is insane. You don't see that anywhere. I'm sorry, I don't see that anywhere else where you see somebody on your team making a residual $100 a day. That's just, man, mind-blowing.
Insania.
Exactly, insania. So we're not here to sell you. Go ahead, Wayne.
Sorry, but I'm going to tell you my story now, because it's quite a good place to go. I think my story's about there somewhere, But what it is, this business is so powerful. Now, why is that? You're probably sitting there, looking at us guys and going like, okay, so yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I see why you want us to get in and all the rest of it. But hey, it's $25 just to get in, okay? And I had a guy 7 months ago, got in $25. Then he bought the $100 package, right, in a circle, and he did nothing. And some of the people out there know that me as a coach or a business person in Empower Network, I lost my father. So a lot of my team I didn't talk to for a long time. So I started to rekindle the fire, let's say, okay, because a lot of the people I didn't speak to. So this guy, I phoned him up. I left him a message. Didn't think anything of it. Then I received an email. Hey Wayne, brilliant. I'm glad you got in touch. Just you know, give me a call sometime. Da da da. So we looked at the time difference. Obviously, he's in the States. I'm in the UK. I made this phone call, and I'm sure he won't mind me telling people because I've spoken to him a few times now, and everything's cool. But I spoke to him on the phone, and I said, look, I really want to help you to improve your situation. Yeah. Now, I am prepared to do that, but I'm only working with people that are coming to the event in Denver and, you know, are serious about this business. And he went, man, Wayne, I've just bought my ticket for the event. I went, wow. He hadn't told me. I didn't know nothing about it. He said, I'm really looking to getting forward to the event. And I said, listen, you get to that event because it will absolutely transform you. I don't care who you are, right? And even if there's people out there now just listening to this, if you can get yourself to the event in Denver, it will just absolutely change you, okay? And I'm not asking you to get in and buy all the products. I'm just saying get in and get yourself to Denver, okay? That's the first thing. So I said this to this guy, and we was having a chat. He's my teammate, but I'm just keeping his name out of at the moment because I'm going to introduce him another time. So, and he can tell his side of the event. So what happened? We're speaking, and I said to him, "Oh yeah, well I'm going to Denver, and I'll be there, and it'd be great to hook up and this, that, and the other." I said, "Well, I'll be there on the 18th, 19th." I said because I'm having a vacation. I said, I'm going to Miami for 5 days," and he went, "Oh wow." I said, "Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Miami, you know, be great on the beach, South Beach. You know, I've got plenty of money to go and enjoy myself because of what Empower's given me, you know." And he said, "I'll pick you up from the airport." I went, "Sorry?" I didn't know this guy lived in Miami, right? Seriously.
Wow.
So he said to me, "Okay, I'll pick you up from the airport." Now, talk about listening skills. When I spoke to him on the phone, okay, that's why I say listening skills are really important. Because I thought he said to me, "I'm a truck driver," right? And this was a long time ago. Anyway, cut the long story, because I don't want to, you know, make it too this much of a long story. But what happened, this is amazing. Now, before I continue, if anyone listened to the story about 3 weeks ago, it was all about Samantha being off the chain, really excited, jumping up and down, da 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 da, right? Because she made a decision, right? And that decision changed her, okay? My decision came this last week or the week before, and this is part of the reason for it, because I believe the universe has got a funny way of treating us, okay? Anyway, back to my story. So I've booked this lovely hotel. I'm in there for a week, got a swimming pool, jacuzzi, gym. I don't know what happened there. The whole 9 yards, right? Everything. And I'm thinking, how cool's that? So I say to him, look, we'll meet up and I'll go for a couple of things with you and this, that, and the other. He said, yeah, okay, I'll pick you up from the airport. And then he said to me, so where are you staying? I told him I'm staying, funny enough, the Clinton Hotel, because that's how I got the name, through Clinton. And it's on South Beach, lovely hotel. So he said to me, come and stay at my house. I went, what? Now, do you see what I'm saying? This guy, a total stranger, never met the man before, okay? I've spoken to him via email. He's seen my videos. He likes and trusts me, okay? And now he's inviting me to his house to spend the week with him and his family, right? And then he said, look, I'll show you Miami properly. And he's a chauffeur, and that's what he does for a living. He chauffeurs celebrities all the way around Miami.
VIP.
Knows all the good places.
Now, can you believe that? I could have booked anywhere. You know, I could have booked Washington D, or gone to Hawaii. Didn't matter. I could have gone anywhere. But what it was, I just thought, I'm not going for 3 days to the event from the UK. I want to do something in between. I booked Miami, right? I didn't know this, and then I had the conversation with this guy, and now I've got a week in Miami. I'm staying at his place. He's got a nice house. He's telling me he's got a room booked for like a room already done for me with my own bathroom and you know, facilities. And there's a swimming pool. He said you can go and relax by my pool and chill out. He said, and you know, I'll show you the Miami properly. And I said, is your wife okay with it? He went, man, she's sweet. She's really down with Empower Network. She wants me to go to the event, and she really wants to see how this works. And he said, and by the way, Wayne, he said, I'm excited, and I really can't wait to get to that event. He said, and my plan is to go all in. Now, sorry guys, but if this doesn't work, this business, right, please explain to me how the hell that has happened to me in the space of 3 weeks of making a decision.
It's you know, it was what we've been talking about, you know, and same thing that Tracy Walker was talking about was that you make a definite decision, okay, and just execute. Same thing what Sam was talking about you know, her moving out. You just make that decision and you execute, take action, and things start aligning. Like Tracy Walker was saying, money is energy, and where does money come from? People. So when you make that definite decision, everything aligns. And people gravitate towards you. Like you gravitated all those events, man, to help you get to Miami.
Yeah.
Powerful, man.
And that's really crazy. But everything for the last 3 weeks, right, has lined up. Okay, so I was thinking, I'm waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for that to happen. Instead of waiting for it to happen, I started to do things again. Started to get back into doing things. So the other thing I did. And I told you guys that I was doing this anyway. That was last week. Well, just to let you know, the 1st of October 2013, I'm moving to Thailand, and I'm staying in Phuket, just where South Thailand. I've already got. Check this out. You'll love this. When I start showing you pictures in October, you'll love this. But I can't share it yet. I've got a 3-bedroom apartment with a swimming pool on the roof, my own personal gym, 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and I'm looking at it on my screensaver, and I've booked it already. So that's the way I've moving forward in my life. I've said to myself, you know what, do it, and it's going to happen, because that's how much faith here I've got in everything now. Because I just keep seeing more and more stories, more and more people, more and more. And what's the difference between them and me? Nothing. It's what we've got between our ears that will moving us forward. And listening to, like you say, about Tracy Walker, Tony Rush, I'm listening to all those stories. I'm reading every day. I'm on calls every day. I'm, you know, getting onto as much information as I can. And then I'm putting that information into action. And I think that's the biggest part. Something that I've learned is that you do 20% of learning and then 80% of action. Whereas in the past, probably, if I'm honest, I probably switched it and did 80% of the learning and then maybe 20% of putting it out there. And I think that's the massive difference between being uncertain and being certain, and everything's lining up, man. So it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys in Denver as well. So that's exciting.
Me too.
Powerful,
anyway,
man.
Carry on.
Somebody want to say something? Susan or Cecilia or Sam? Did you guys want to say something? Okay. I speak. If you gals want to say something, you had a thought or something. No, okay. This is fine.
I'm going.
Susie, you want to say something?
I'm speechless.
Speechless. Okay. You know, one thing that, you know, Tracy Walker, one of my notes was like, you know, what you said, Wayne, was you don't have to be right. You know, I mean, in school, yes, we're taught, you know, we got to be right. I think 70% or 100%, you know, to pass the test or something like that. But in business, if you're 51% right, that 1% can just take you beyond your wildest dreams. You know, I mean, you look at, let's say this, for example, you get 100 people on your list, you know, an email, your email list in a day, right? You get 100 people on the list, and if one person, let's say for that email to get those 100 people on your, you know, on your email list in that day, right? It may cost $500, right? $500 for that email solo ad campaign. You get 100 people. Let's say 99% of the people don't do anything, but that one person can be that can make the difference of $100 extra a month, all the way up to $4,500 and some change from that one person. And you might have spent $500, so you're up. Let's say you're up anywhere between, you know, let's say for example, let's say the guy went all in or something like that. You made $4,500. Okay, so you're up $4,000. Let's say you just got the inner circle and you only paid $100. You break even, and then he got the blog, so it's $25. So you're positive, or any combination. You know, I'm not getting specifics here, but all I'm illustrating is this: is that in this business, that one person, or there's two people, you know, I mean, and like Wayne said, with the power of the follow-up, you follow up with people on your team and you develop relationships. I mean, who knows what the long-term profits can be? I mean, I don't think it has been calculated yet of the long-term value if somebody gets in your Empower organization and stays on your team for 3 years. That's a lot of money, you know.
You know, I wanted to kind of just jump in there real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead, shoot.
You know, I've been doing some advertising, just really consistent. Every single week, I'm doing a 100-click campaign with one particular person that I'm outsourcing to, or not person, but organization I'm outsourcing to. And that, you know, and that one campaign each week gets me anywhere from 35 to 45 leads. And you know, over the course of the past few weeks, I've had a few people come in as just $25 members, and then I had a guy just come in the other day. He came in at 25. I gave him a call, talked to him for maybe 10 minutes, and within a week he had upgraded to the Inner Circle, the Costa Rica, and the 15K formula. And you know, so that's a total of what was that, 1625?
16, yeah.
And you know, and that was just from just being consistent with that advertising that I was doing with that particular vendor. And, you know, and the thing is that, you know, that's on top of any other stuff that I'm doing. That's on top of my free leads from my blog and from my videos and all of those kinds of things. And, you know, and just that being consistent with your actions. And, you know, if I had done those advertisements, you know, 3 weeks in a row and didn't do that fourth one for whatever reason, I'd have had a couple signups here and there and some leads, but I would have never had that one guy, you know. And I know that, you know, if you just keep being consistent with it, that it's going to make up for itself, you know. So over that period of time, I probably spent $400, but yet then he went and upgraded and ended up paying me back, you know, the $16.25. So it ends up you're in profit. You know, and that's kind of the biggest thing. A lot of people will sit there and be upset that they're spending money on marketing, or they're spending money on their business or whatever. I had a guy tell me the other day, he sent me this message through Facebook, and he was complaining because he had to spend money on marketing, and he had said something to the effect if he was upset about paying that $125 a month or something like that in his business. And you know, I didn't even reply to him with a, oh yeah, it sucks. I replied back and I was like, I know, isn't that so awesome that you can run an entire business for $125 a month? I'm like, that's just amazing. And you know, because I'm like, you know, he's completely got the wrong mindset. You know, it's like when I was running my pet grooming business, shoot, to make a couple $100 a week paycheck, I had to spend $5,000 a month in just overhead that was fixed expenses. That didn't include all of the variable expenses. And with my trucking company, shoot, I can't even tell you how much money we spent in that company just to make a $30,000 a year income. I mean, it was insane, and that's kind of the way that it is typically with most traditional businesses, is that you have hundreds of thousands of dollars going out every year in all of your expenses just so that you can make a measly, you know, $30,000, $50,000, or $70,000 income. And and then with this business, you can run your business for, if you include your fixed expenses and some advertising just to get going, maybe $1,000 a month, maybe two, if you really get aggressive with your marketing, and you can grow that into any amount of money that you want if you just keep reinvesting back into your business. I mean, it's insane the small amount of money that we can put into this and have a profit like a multi-million-dollar company. It just amazes me every single day, and it amazes me even more, just like what Tracy was saying on the call last night, of these people that are complaining because they got to spend money in their business, or they're complaining because they do one thing and it doesn't work, and oh my God, the whole world is coming to an end, when in reality it's like, if I were to go and have my pet grooming business, groom one dog and not make $1 million, do you think that I'd be sitting there crying about it? No.
Right. Like that, she was mentioning the gal, I think you were talking about that she was talking about, was complaining that she had to spend $25 and this, that, and the other, and she wasn't getting results, and then the whole group was telling her, encourage her and stuff like that, and she told her and this is what I got to use this from Wayne, because Wayne says the same thing on these group hangouts, and I'm not going to steal his thunder, he'll tell you in a minute, but either you're gonna complain, quit. We don't need you around. We don't need your negativity. We don't care. But if you go like this is what Tracy said. If you go read Cybernetics and then and change your mindset, powerful things can happen to your business. The gal did that very thing. She went and read Cybernetics. She came back and upgraded and ended up having success immediately when she changed her mindset. So it's your stinking thinking, as we talked about last week, your stinking thinking is holding you back. I know it sounds totally opposite, because why? You can go to a job and you can punch a clock, and what happens? They'll pay you. That doesn't take any brain power at all to go to work. You can just be a robot and just go do what they want you to do. Here's one thing, and the movie Identity Theft. This is so funny. The movie Identity Theft, which is a funny movie, Jason Bateman went in his office with the boss, and the boss said, he was talking, I guess Jason Bateman was like an accountant or something like that. He said, hey, how you doing, stuff like that. Hey, I need you to hurry up and print up some checks, because we have some retention, we got to retain our leadership and stuff like that. And he said, you know what, my wife has this program called QuickBooks. He said, you're just like a monkey behind a computer. You'll do what we do. And I was thinking, I was like, man, and no offense, don't get me wrong. I spent my time 15 years in the Army, 2 combat zones, and I was a loan officer and all that stuff. I used to work, okay? But when you compare the lifestyle of being an entrepreneur and the things that you do, the systems that you can set up or be involved in, like this empowered thing, and don't have to worry about income, just set the advertisement like Sam said and Wayne said, and things happen automatically, okay? And you look at the job, okay, is that you go there and you do what they say and you make an income. You're looking at a difference of, like I said, at $4,600 a month, active duty in the Army as a E6, E5, I made $4,600 a month. But then now, present time, making $1,000 in a day, okay? Look at, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a big difference. Sam just talking about a $1,600 day, okay? Now, yes, it will take a mind shift. What is that mind shift? You have to believe it, you can do it. That's not that hard. Why? Because you have a whole product suite that empowers you to change your mindset. It's not like you're out there and you're in the wilderness by yourself. As Robert G. Allen said in his book, Multiple Streams of Internet Income, you have this store in the middle of the desert. You got to put yourself on a highway. Imagine that you have a genie out there in this island, the store out in the middle of the desert with you. That Genius Empower Network. You have all the tools, you have everything, you just got to believe. And then, boom, you got everything. It's like Vegas, the Las Vegas Strip. But you got to believe it. You got to believe it. If you don't believe it, man, you're out of luck. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Pass the mic.
I do want to apologize for a second for me going off. I was outside, and I didn't have it plugged in, so I had to come back in and get it plugged in.
Don't worry about it. That's the problem with being alive, man. Anything can happen.
We can work with those problems.
And hello, I get to go outside and work.
Yeah.
When
I want.
That is the most awesome thing, and I do kind of want to talk about how things have been going, with me just a little bit. Is You know, this last Monday was officially our Freedom Day. You know, we originally had said, you know, June 1st was going to be our dream day, and that was going to be the day that we took off and went on our adventure. And, you know, things didn't come together just so, but it did end up being that the Monday after the 1st was my husband's last day on the job. And so that is officially our Freedom Day. So from now on, Mondays are awesome day. You know, I sent out a email to my list yesterday talking about how much I love Mondays, because now Mondays is our Freedom Day. And you know, what a great feeling it is to, you know, have been able to tell my husband that he can quit his job, and that you know, we're basically escaping. As I can see, I'm actually sitting on the floor in my sunroom because we've gotten rid of all of our furniture, with the exception of just a couple of different things. And you know, this past week we took all of my husband's shop tools and shop equipment, motorcycles and everything else, took them down to Georgia to his uncle's house, because they're going to be putting together a custom motorcycle shop, which has been my husband's dream for years, is to work with his uncle. And we've just never been in a position where we could, you know, just do what we wanted to do. And, you know, of course, my dream has been to go, you know, full-time RVing. And so we've kind of been, you know, doing a little compromise where we're going to be doing that and RVing and that sort of thing. But this past week was all an adventure of going and packing up some stuff and heading down to Georgia. And, you know, I was working from the road, literally. Had my laptop on my lap in my truck, driving down the road, and that was where I was working from. And you know, and that's just such an awesome, freeing feeling. Now, I had a few little issues with Wi-Fi here and there. When we got down there, I had no signal, and I was like, you know, off the grid, which was an awesome feeling in and of itself. But you know, I did have a little bit of, you know, hang-ups, but it was like, you know, with anything, you have little things happen, and you overcome them. You overcome those difficulties, and you move forward. And you know, and that's what you do when you're in business for yourself. And that's kind of the difference between, you know, a person who has that entrepreneurial you know, spirit versus somebody who's kind of stuck in that employee mindset, is that, you know, when difficulties happen, I don't sit here and go, woe is me, it's the end of the world. You know, I figure it out. I'll figure out a way to overcome it. And, you know, and that's kind of what we have done, you know. But it wasn't until I got involved with Empower Network that I really realized what we were capable of and what we could do. You know, before, it was just we were stuck. We were always stuck, you know, trapped by a job, or trapped by, you know, bills or a mortgage or whatever it happens to be. And, you know, now we're free. We're completely free. And, you know, it's only going to be a few more days. We're going to final out with the landlord, empty out the rest of the stuff in this house, clean it out, jump in our camper, and head south again. And it's just such an awesome feeling to be able to do that. And if it wasn't for learning the skills that were necessary for me to be able to market online and grow a business online, I would not have, I wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. I'd be still stuck in a job and still stuck in a, you know, trapped in whatever situation we happen to be in, and, you know, always worried about bills and everything else. And now it's just so freeing to you know that I've made that decision to change our lives, and I've taken the steps to make those things come together. So, you know, I mean, if something like that is what you're looking for, if you're looking for freedom, if you're wanting to get out of your 9 to 5 or 7 to 7 or 5 to 9 or whatever it happens to be, you know, like we were working from 5 o'clock in the morning until 8, 9 o'clock at night, and that was just no fun. And you know, but we were trapped. We didn't have any way out, and not until I found Empower Network and made that decision that we were going to change our lives and step outside of what we thought, what we were supposed to do. And you know, you don't have to stay stuck where you are. You have just as much opportunity to you know, step out and, like Clinton was saying at the beginning of this show, was you know, get in the fast lane and start moving forward in your life, because you know, you only have one life to live, and why sit around wasting your life working for someone else, working for the man, just so you can barely scrape by? You know, why not take your life into your own hands and make a decision that you're going to succeed and have everything that you ever want in your life? It really is possible that you can do it. You just have to take that step, make that decision that you want it, and then take the action to make it happen.
Sam, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
You know that goal, that deadline that you had. You know that what was your goal? What was the date? The date that you said you were going to do it.
My original date was June 1st.
Okay, but you didn't make that date, did you?
No.
So you didn't quit though, did you?
Oh, hell no.
What, you didn't? Like, you didn't start packing everything back, opening all the boxes back up, and saying,
Yeah,
"Hey, shit,
that
I
would have
missed
been
the date.
funny. Oh, I
I
didn't
missed the date now. I'm not going to bother."
I guess we'll
Did
just,
you?
I guess I'll just roll over and put everything back in the closet.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that, did you?
Do it.
That's the difference, you know. That's like just because, like my goal, right, as an example, was to make 100 grand, right, in less than 12 months. Yeah, and I thought, shit, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because obviously my dad and all that. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? But I didn't say to myself, oh well, I've not made it, so that's it then. What I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to go back and get myself a 9-to-5 job, or you know.
Oh my God.
I'm not like that, and you're not like that. And that's why I always say, Clinton said, what do I say all the time? And I told this to the guy I spoke to the other day, and he went, Wayne, I like straight talking. And I went, cool. I said, because I don't want no bitching, whinging, or moaning. And he was like, that's cool, because that's what you want. You know, you want people to go, like you, oh, you know what? I haven't made my goal, but I tell you what, all I've got to do is move it, stretch it a little bit. I haven't changed it. I'm still doing the same thing. So, like, people out there probably going, like, you know, oh, I'd like to get in, but I don't know whether I can do it. Well, there's only one way to try, and that, well, there isn't a try, because you can't try and pick something up, because you can't do it. You have to just do it, or don't do it. It's as simple as that. But you need to just press the button underneath and just get in. That's the first step, all right? But the second step is, like I said to Sam, did you change your goal? No. Now, you sure? You sure you didn't think, you know what, I have a chat with my husband, we missed it by 3 days, my love, so, you know, what I've decided to do now is bring all the shit back out the garage, okay, and let's put it all back in place, and, right, let's create another goal, and we'll wait, you know, maybe we won't do it for another 7, oh no, screw it, we'll just go back to the life that we live and we really hate, and you know, we'll be at each other's throats for the rest of our lives. But hey, you know, that's compromise. No, we won't do that.
You know, I want to
What
kind
you
of
do is you
jump in
make
there
a decision.
let me just jump in there for just a second,
Sure.
you know, because you bring up some really great points. And the thing is that for a lot of years, you know, as silly as all of that sounds, you know, for a lot of years, that's just about basically what we did. We didn't make a decision that we were going to reach a goal. We just kind of went through life. Life would hit us with some sort of whatever that happened to be, and we would just basically, you know, kind of roll over and be like, oh, that didn't work. I guess we'll just, you know, go back to what we were doing before. Or,
So
you know,
you were just in reaction mode, like just kind of react to everything.
Exactly. Kind of just, you know, just what is they call it in it was the Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil. He talked a lot about, you know, drifters, people who just kind of drift through life and don't have any goals, don't have a definite purpose, don't have a you know, desire to make something happen in their life strong enough to actually do something. And you know, and that's why there's so many people that don't live their dreams. They're just kind of sitting there, letting life just keep rolling over them, and they don't realize that they have the power inside of themselves to create the life that they want, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't that way at one point, because I definitely was. And that's why, you know, here I am at the, you know, it's 42 or 43 this year, and
whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is, you know, whatever. Anyway, you know, I've lived, you know, almost half of my life not having a clue as to what it was that I wanted. And it wasn't until this past year that I finally was like, gosh, you know, what the crap have I been doing all these years? Just kind of going along, I kind of had it in my head that, if we just, get a job or have a job or have a business or whatever it is, work hard for, 20, 30 years or whatever, eventually we'd be able to retire and, get the gold watch per se and, live life happily ever after. Well, the funny thing is it doesn't work that way. This is not a Disney movie, guys. This isn't Disney. We actually have to decide what you want and then go after it as if your life depended on it. And because really it does, because you can live your life for your dreams and actually make it happen, or you can live your life just kind of existing on this kind of boring plane of la-di-da and whatever happens and life is just going to keep on happening one way or another. Now you just have to decide whether you want it to happen in a way that is for you or in a way that is against you, because there isn't really any in between. You can sit there and say, oh, well, I have a positive attitude and everything's hunky-dory, happy-go-lucky or whatever, but the truth is that if you aren't living for your dreams, if you aren't living a life on purpose, you basically aren't even living. And, a lot of people sit here and say that, oh, well, I don't need a lot of money. I have love. I have my family. I have this, that, and the other, but the truth is that no matter how you look at it, whether you are a religious person or whether you're, a naturalist or whatever you happen to be, you are created to be an abundant being. You were created to have the potential to be amazing and do amazing things. And if you're just sitting there not doing anything, letting life hit you left and right, and you're just kind of rolling around there, taking the punches and just kind of laying there, then you aren't living up to your full potential. You're not being everything that you can be, that you were made for. And, and that's a sad thing right there. I mean, that's what sin is. If you really want to boil it down to, what, if you were kind of a religious person or whatever it happens to be, is that, if you aren't living up to the potential that you were made for, you are in violation of your life purpose. You're in violation of the natural order of the universe. And if you want to have abundance in your life, you have to align yourself with your life purpose. And you have to, first, the way to do that is decide what it is that you want. Then once you decide what it is you're wanting, whatever it happens to be, you've got to take the steps to make that happen. And sometimes that means you got to get outside your comfort zone, because where you are right now in your, kind of lackadaisical kind of life, or you're just kind of getting by or whatever it happens to be, is you're not doing anything to move forward, just kind of rolling there, like a log in the water, staying in one place, just kind of rolling, not getting anywhere. That's kind of a funny way of looking at it, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, shoot.
When you were saying that as well, it always reminds me of that Dave Wood story. And well, it wasn't his story, but it was someone going back when he first started online, and he said, you know what, this guy, he said to this guy, he said, I want to make, I think it was $1 million or something. And he said, you really want to make $1 million? And he went, yep, that's what I want to do. He said, do you trust me? He says, yeah, of course I trust you. I trust you, He said, would you trust me with your life? And this guy says, yeah, I trust you with your life. He said, well, come here then. And he walks over to him and he says, what? He says, no, do you trust me? And the guy says, yeah. With that, he gets the back of his head and he pushes his head and puts it under the water, right? And at first, this guy's breathing. You can imagine that's someone's head, right? If you can see there's someone's head there. And he's breathing, right? So if you can imagine, this is me like this. So I'm breathing like this, but I'm like thinking, I'm comfortable at the moment, but I'm not that comfortable. So, but I'm still okay. And he says, like, and he carries on. He's not letting him up. And with that, the guy's, and he's going like that, and he's still not letting him. Anyway, he gets to the spot, and he's like kicking and fussing and going mental. And with that, the guy brings him up like that, and he says, oh God, he said, I thought I was going to die. He said, well, you know that feeling that you've got now, that you feel like you're going to die? He said, that's the feeling you need to make $1 million. He said, so remember that feeling, he said, and never let it go. And I listen to that, and I just think, how powerful is that? I'm not telling everyone who's on the line, by the way, to go and start trying to drown yourself, because that's not the idea here. But what I'm saying is, that's the sensation that we're talking about. That's the feeling that I've got in my bones as I speak. Same as Samantha. That's why I picked, I made a decision. I booked it. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. I don't care how I'm going to pay for it. It's nice. It's fantastic. It looks amazing. And I just look at it every day and I go, wow, that's my new home. Wow. And my friends are going to me, like, they've said to me, Wayne, why are you doing it? Why do you want to? I said, look, you have to understand, right, that you are a totally different animal to me. I can't explain to you how to live your life. I can only show you by going and watching our video, which is 20 minutes long, and you pay $25 at the end of it. That's the only way I can show you. And then you may understand the feeling that I've got now because of the belief system that is being educated every single day inside of the tools that we've got inside this fantastic business. And they were like, oh, okay. Because people they don't know how to respond. It's more of a reaction than a response, because people just don't get you. People who, I can't explain it to anyone, but they just don't get you. They go, well, I've got a job and I've got security and I've got it, but
Exactly.
why are you doing that? What? Well, because I want something better. Yeah, but and they always counter. What I mean is they try and counter what you're feeling, and I call them dream stealers. Okay, so one thing you want to do is don't listen to anyone that's going to try and steal your dreams. Okay, because you wouldn't take financial advice from a poor person. So, when you get involved in a power network, you will see that there's so many people that are making money in this business, and you'll understand that. And that's like the panel. Everyone on this panel, we're all here every week because we're trying to help people to improve their life, to understand what they're going through, and to actually see changes. Whether you saw me in the beginning or not, whether you saw Sam, whether you saw Sue, excuse me, Clinton, and I always forget.
Cecilia.
Cecilia, that's it. You're breaking my heart. That's the word. I should have remembered it. Sorry, Cecilia.
Susan.
Whether you've seen us before and you see the growth, every time you come back here, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll see something else. You'll see a bigger smile on people's faces because they have little moments in their life. And if I'm wrong here, guys, please tell me. But it's right. Right or wrong? Do we have little changes every single day in our lives? Do we get little things that are thrown to us and think, wow, that makes sense? I don't know. Clinton, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, man,
so we got to give him a little bit of speaking time.
No. You're good. I mean, people just got to stop being wussies. Like I said about the fast lane, earlier. Just stop being a wussy. I mean, just jump over, I mean, stop waiting in line. I mean, it sucks being in the other line, I'm saying that from life perspective, and I'm saying that from just thinking about it. We're so, it's like we're bred to be a part of the herd, But when you ride along with the coyotes and the lions and the bears, and that what, there's a whole nother world out there, and there's an adventure. Yeah, there's a little danger, but what, life can be what you want. I hate to steal that from Forrest Gump, but life can be what you want.
Life's like a box of chocolate.
Right? I mean, come on. I mean,
me and Bubba, we were gonna buy one of them shrimp boats.
So, I mean, what? I mean, but it's so true. I mean, you can go get you a shrimp boat,
Absolutely.
But you've been your whole life you were told what you can and can't do. Now we're telling you to dream, and it seems like the most frightening thing that you would think about. Holy cow, I got a dream now. But you know what? That's what got you in the career you're in now. What Tracy said. She said the same thing that Tony Rush says. Your thinking yesterday got you exactly where you are today. we're just telling you right now, we're exposing you to the virus of the truth, is that if you change your mindset right now, your outcome can be different. Now, could it take you a little while? Like Sam said, so the 1st and the 11th, a few days apart, maybe a few weeks. Who cares? You know, who cares? Who cares if it takes a little bit extra time? You're going to your goal, for crying out loud, something that you've been trying to do for your whole life. And you're a little late.
Yeah.
Come on now, you're a little late to get to your goal, something that you always dreamed about, and you're worried about. In this book I was reading, he calls the people in your life that get on you and stuff about your goals and stuff you're not accomplished. He calls them seagulls. So you're gonna let the seagulls, talk about you? So what? They can poop on you. It's not gonna hurt you, right? But get into your goal. Whether it's a house, whether it's spending more time. My kids are at the right now. They're at with my wife. They're at the Croc Center. They're swimming and stuff like that, having a ball. Okay, what are your kids doing? Or if you're watching this at work, they're probably in daycare, huh?
One's at work.
Yeah. right.
And the other one's sitting on the couch, like going through my Amazon stuff. But guess what? My daughter chose to work because when she was old enough, she quit school and got her GED and got her job. She's 26. She's been working for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
That was when I was working check to check. So that's what she saw. And I mean, this is brand new for the kids and for me. And I got to tell you guys, when you have adult children and they've seen you struggle, then they have the attitude that's not good for making money. So, like my son's here and I'm like, okay, I understand he's going to college and he's having an issue like getting up and getting stuff done, which is fine. I mean, he just got back. But, I'm going to put him to work. He's going to be syndicating all my stuff. I'm going to have him do all my ads because he can do it. He knows computers. How long is it going to take him to cut and paste?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I mean, and then whatever I make, I can share with him because he's my son. And who am I going to share it with? I'm going to share it with my kids. Duh.
Right. I mean, you think about, just life in general. It's rough, but I mean, starting a business is rough. Just starting a business. Sam told you $5,000 for overhead. In this business, you can do it. I mean, you can scale it. I mean, it's something you can scale. I don't know if you know what scale means. I'm not talking about a fish scale. Okay, while I do have some very good salmon in the other room, I'm not talking about that kind of scale. I'm talking about scaling your business. Is where, and you've probably seen this on Wall Street or something, where you take tiny little profits and you keep scaling up to getting bigger and better and better. It's the old choo-choo train, right? How does a train back in the old days get up the hill? You got to keep shoving coal in that daggone fire. You got to keep that boiler hot. You got to keep that steam going, right? You get that up, the engines start real slow, ticka, 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 ticka. But the more you keep shoving steam in that bad boy, it's going ticka, 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 ticka. It keeps going. So the same thing. You got to keep. Here's my chicken elbow dance. You got to keep going. You got to keep putting. Yes, it may take a little time, but who cares? Because at the other end, when you get over that hill, when you crest over that hill, and you're coming down, you know what I'm saying, and you're gliding, you know what? That's a result of your best thinking. And that was on the other side of the hill when you kept on thinking, if I just keep shoveling coal, I'm going to get to the other side, things are going to be much more easier. And it's true, because on the other side, you got a ton more people helping you, and you're just gliding, and you got other hills. And what's those other hills? You got more people to help. And then I was just thinking about that today. My goal is $100,000 a month. Okay, $3,000 a day consistently is $100,000 a month is my goal. And I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice right now to make $3,000 a day consistently, $100,000 a month? Wouldn't that be nice? Yes. But what then? What then? I said, man, you know what? I got to thinking. I was like, what do I do then? The money, I got plenty of kids, and the cash would take care of them. I think we could live off $100,000 a month. What then? You. How can we get you to $100,000 a month? That's my next goal. You know, how many people do you know that are out there helping people make, you know, incomes a month, you know, from 5,000, 10,000 on up? How many people you know? You know, I know that's a far off goal, as far as getting there, but I keep having $1,000 days. So guess what's next? A 3,000, a 5,000. But after that point, it's not considered. I'm not, who cares about the money for me? But how can I help you? How can I help you change? Because if you change your mindset, anything is possible. Sam told you. Wayne told you he's moving to Thailand. We're growing with or without you. On this panel, on this live television show we've been doing every week consistently, we're growing in front of you. Get off the couch, you wussy, and just join us. Let's be real. If you got offended, so what? Click off. Bye. But if you're serious, then what's going to happen? You're going to join us. And you're like, you know what? That guy really made me mad. I'm going to make more money than him. That's what one of my people told me. I said, go ahead, because I'm excited for you. That's what my wife said at the event. One of my gals said, I'm going to make more money than you. She gave me a high five. She said, go at it. Who cares?
That's what
because you know what? You make your business what you want. Go ahead, Wayne. I'm going to pass the mic.
I was just going to say is that a lot of people fall down in this business because they think of its competition.
Right.
And it's not. It's taking care of your own business. Don't worry about what other people are doing, because it can affect you in a lot of ways. And I think once you realise that, because it affected me a long time ago, and there's some people on this panel that know who that is, and I ain't smiling too much, but I used to be, my nature is so competitive. It always has been. And I used to be like, well, that guy's done like, I done like 3,000, I made 100 leads today, and someone's made 150. How are they making 150? I'm not having that. I will, and that's how I used to be. And then all of a sudden I looked at this and I thought, well, it doesn't affect me what they do. Why worry about what someone else is doing? Forget that. If someone's making 150 grand, right, a month, forget that person. But have it in your sight that, yeah, that's where you want to go. That's your goal, 100,000, 150,000. But don't let that person tear you up. Don't let that whole concept of idea that, oh, I'm not making 150. How am I going to make it? Oh, I need to make it next week or the week after. And because what happens is your whole brain cells just start going, and you put so much pressure on yourself. Instead of doing that, just work on getting yourself to an income that you feel comfortable with, that is going to make you and your family a lot better off than you were when you was working in your job. Once you've achieved that goal, then you move forward to another. Yeah, you can have a goal. I mean, I've got a massive goal. It's huge, right? But it's so far away, right? I've got like 30 different goals in between that I can see my next one sort of here, my next one's there, the next one's there, the next one there. But think about it. By the time I get to this one, right, it's still going to be this close because I'm not picturing it too far away. And that's the biggest plus. Get into the business first of all. Pay your $25. Learn your trade, okay? As you're learning your trade, follow the 8 core steps, which does include, and I have to say this, I think this is the biggest plus that Samantha's mentioned today. Right? So I'm looking like that. Samantha's mentioned today, and that is reinvest back into you. Okay, I didn't do that at first. I used to think, oh, I'll spend more money than I earn, and well, it doesn't matter, all that sort of stuff. And it was throw it here, throw it, blasé. Forget testing. What's testing? I don't know about that. And that's because I'm a gambler. I've been a compulsive gambler all my life, right? I've been to rehab, I've been to GA meetings, everything. And when I got involved in this business, probably not the best thing to do because it is a money-orientated business. But the difference is you learn to control that. And now, if I make a decision, it's not based on a gamble, it's based on something that I've tested for a little while and it's working for me, and then I will scale up on it. And that's the difference between people that are successful and people who are non-successful. is because we all do the same things. Yeah, we all apply certain things on a daily method into our business. It's just that some of us, our attitudes are different, like the leaders, because they're looking at their business 12 months from now, let's say, but already in the present. And that's the way that you've got to start to look at your business. And also, the other thing is that, you know, the testing element, like Sam was saying there, $100, throw it into a, you know, get 45, 50 leads, great, you know, and then you use those leads and nurture those people on your list. And the most important part about that is communication, because as another thing in the past, I didn't always do that, and that was communicate with my list. And really and truthfully, man, it's like you've got a money tree there. It's just sitting there. I'm not joking. It is just sitting there, and I've said this on a number of occasions, that if you've got a list of like 1,000 people, or a couple of thousand, or 500, doesn't matter, right? That is a list, and you can just go up to that list and pluck your money off the tree. And the reason I say that is because Tony Rush is one of the most powerful copywriters that I've ever seen in his words and everything else. And he can send an email and generate $3,000 in a day, you know, and he does 20 minutes work. So if he can do it, what's the difference between him and you? And all it is this much down the track. So you're at this end of the track, he's at this end of the track. He's got more experience than you. But how do you get experience in life? When you learn to drive a car, that's my thing here. For those people who haven't drove yet, this doesn't apply to you. The people that are driving, this does apply to you. When you first learn, okay, no, forget car. Let's go for a bicycle. When you first went to learn to ride a bicycle, you had things on them called stabilizers, yeah, that stop you from falling off. And you took baby steps on your little bike every day. And, you know, you might have your mum or your dad giving you a little push along. And then one day they say, oh, I know, we're going to release you with no stabilizers. And you go, like scared. That is scared, in case no one out there did know. So you got really scared about it. And you're like, oh, my God, what happens if I fall off? Well, generally speaking, when you fall off, what do? What's the first thing you do? You get back on. You don't quit. You don't say, oh, I'm not riding that bike anymore. Forget it. I'm never riding it again. What you do is you get back on and you learn to get better at your balance. Yeah? Get better at your balance. Or better at your dancing in my case. No, you get better at your balance, right? Once you get your balance right, okay, sometimes the bike could be leaning this way and you've got to do something to get it back straight. It's the same with this business, the same with advertising, the same with blogging, the same as videos. Everything that we do, right, we're not experts in our field, far from it. Because anyone who's an expert is still learning. That's my belief, right? Anyone who's an expert is probably a better student than they are an expert, because they learn every single day, and that's what makes them better. So if you want to learn and you want to become better, you're in the best place in your life, by far. Because there's the best people in this business. You've got more experience in the whole of this industry than anywhere else. And if you can get to the event in Denver, I would strongly advise you to get there. There'll be about 7,500 people. You'll see all of us lot here as well, so big smiles. And it'd be great to see you there. And that's really all I've got to say. I'm wrapping myself up because I just wanted to leave that as like my final thought as well, is that you can do it. But just remember that when you fall off the bike, just get back on.
Yeah, don't give up.
I haven't heard too much from you, Susan.
I'm a little quiet today. Taking it all in.
Righto. Yeah, one of the things that I kind of wanted to mention with with what Wayne was talking about is he was talking about expanding on your marketing and having goals and your money goals and that sort of thing. But I want to encourage you to also have just life goals. What is it that you want out of life? Ask yourself that question. What do you want out of life? What do you want to see in your life? What things do you want to do? You know, we hear sometimes people talking about, you know, having a bucket list, you know, what all the different things you want to do before you die or before you kick the bucket. I guess that's the saying. But, you know, the thing is that you can start doing those things, you know, as soon as you decide that you're actually going to go and do them. And you just have to start making that list. What do you want to do? How do you want your life to be? What do you want your whole entire life to look like? And you know, and make some goals based on that. Because, you know, it's like with me, you know, my goal was to go full-time RVing, and my husband's goal is he wanted to have a custom motorcycle shop. And of course, we had to do a little compromising to make all that kind of come together. But if I hadn't had that goal to want to be doing that traveling, and if he hadn't had the goal of wanting to do the motorcycle thing, then, you know, we wouldn't be doing it. We'd still be sitting there just kind of going along, la-di-da, you know, sure, I'd have some income goals or whatever that I'd be working towards, but, you know, what's that income going to do for you? What is it you want to make happen in your life? Why do you want that money? That's just as important, if not even more important, than having income goals, because, you know, like Clinton was saying, he said he wanted to get to $100,000 a month, and what's that going to do for him? And, but then he said, okay, what am I going to do after that? You know, I've reached that. Now, how am I going to, you know, move forward from this point? And so his additional goal on top of that is then how can I help other people reach that same goal? And that's more of a visual goal than it is a monetary goal. You know what I'm saying? It's a, you know, and so when you start making those goals, you really need to kind of picture in your mind what it is that you're trying to accomplish, because sometimes money isn't the best goal to have, because it doesn't motivate you the same way that, you know, the dream that you're trying to create does. You know, so if you have something that you want to be able to do, maybe you're a person who loves roller coasters like Clinton. We love roller coasters too, but I know some folks that are all about roller coasters and they want to go to all the roller coaster parks in the country or in the world. What if you're a person like that who wants to do something along that line? You know, you can make that as a goal, and then that's going to be much more motivating than, say, you know, I want to get to $10,000 a month or whatever, because you have it in your head, all the adventures that you're going to have and all the roller coasters you're going to ride and all the parks you're going to go to, and getting the fast lane tickets, you can ride them really fast and jump right back on again. I mean, you know, when you have those kind of goals, that's what's going to motivate you. That's what's going to get you excited every day to work on your business, because every business, regardless of what kind of business it is you're going to have the daily activities, the mundane stuff that you're going to have to do every day in order to have success with your business. It's like when I was in pet grooming. I had to groom dogs every single day. Every day I'd go in there, I'd talk to customers, I'd be on the phone, I'd make appointments, I'd wash dogs, I'd trim hair, I'd brush hair, trim toenails, all that kind of stuff. And I'd come back, and the next day I'd have to do it all over again. And my husband was a truck driver, and he would have to be out there driving down the road hundreds and hundreds of miles every single day, going from place to place to place to place. It's that mundane activity that, you know, is going to be the thing that actually generates the revenue. And with an online business, you're going to have to blog every day. You're going to have to do marketing every day. You're going to have to connect with people on, you know, on the social networks, and you know, and build a community and that sort of things. Those are the things that are going to be those daily activities that you physically have to do every day. And the thing that's going to motivate you to do that every day is have that goal of what it is that you want to accomplish. You know, so whatever dreams that you have always thought about, you wish you could do this or you wish you could do that, you know, those are really attainable when you start to really think about actually doing them, making the decision that you are going to, I have a bug trying to get me, but making the decision that you're actually going to take the steps and do the daily activities that are going to make that happen. And, you know, this business, the thing I love the most about this business is the fact that you can do it from anywhere that you have an internet connection. And I think that that's kind of a big deal for a lot of different people, because we all talk about wanting to work from home, but in reality, my desire for wanting to work from home is so that I am free and completely separated. I don't have to be in any one location in order to do this particular business. And I think that's the biggest thing with this business that makes it so people from all walks of life want to do something like this. Maybe they don't have any idea exactly what it entails, but the main reason we want to do it is so that we can have that freedom, so that we can be separated from location, and so that we can be home with our family, so that we can travel, so that we can have those experiences in life where, you know, you're not trapped by a job or trapped by the time that you have to spend at a job. You know, that was another thing that was, you know, really great about this past week is, you know, we had all these things that we were doing, organizing, loading, unloading, you know, driving, going down here, being out in the woods, and you know, just different things that we were doing. And if I'd had a set schedule I had to do this stuff on, and I couldn't have, you know, let me kind of rephrase that. If I wasn't doing this business, I was doing some other kind of business where I had to be there certain times of the day, I wouldn't have been able to do the stuff that we were doing. And you know, but with this business, I did a little bit of work in the morning when I would get up, then we'd go do our fun stuff, and then I'd do a little bit of work at lunchtime, and then we'd go do something else, and then I'd do a little bit of work at night, and we'd go do something else. You know, it was something where it's so completely flexible. It's like homeschooling. You know? A lot of people have talked about, you know, they want to homeschool their kids so they can spend more time with them, and of course give them a better education on top of that. But you know, when you're homeschool, my son homeschools, and he does all his work at night. Why? Because he's a teenager. What teenager wants to get up first thing in the morning? Not very many. So it works out well for him to do the homeschool. Well, it's the same thing with an internet business. If you don't like to get up in the morning, you don't have to. You know? You can get up at any point in time that you want, and you can work on it whenever you want. The only thing is you just have to do the consistent actions every single day in order to build that momentum and have that success in your business and start to create that regular income. But it can be done, and that's the biggest thing right there. It's just that this business makes it so you can have a flexible life. You still have work that you have to do, just like in anything. In order to make money, you've got to put some kind of effort into it. But the great part is that it's flexible. It's from wherever you are that you want to do the business. You can do it from anywhere, and that's the thing that's just great about it. So, you know, that's all I have to say.
Man, that's just beautiful, man. Sorry I had an asthma attack there, man. It was going on. Old war wound, man. Wouldn't go away, man. Wow. So, but, man, I tell you, you know, we're going to wrap this thing up because we got families, and it's summertime. You know, we got to get out into that sun. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be true there. You know? Sam has to get, you know, more packing done and stuff. Right. And I know Wayne has to enjoy his evening. He's probably finding some nice gal. And Susan, she has kids like me. And, you know, we got things we got to do. We got family, you know. And we got businesses to operate, you know, set up automated systems.
So, it's like the middle of the afternoon for me, but I'm going to the mall.
Absolutely, you might as well, right? Well, go ahead.
I just want to say something to people out there, just so you know. Literally, we've been sitting on this call now for what, 20 minutes, yeah. And I did a little campaign just before I started. That I've had one running, but I've got one going at the moment. And so far, I've had 94 leads go into it. Since this, I just checked it just then. So that's pretty good, guys. Thanks for the call. Really enjoyed you, obviously, all being here. And I've got 94 leads just sitting here talking to you. So it's been a great day all around, really. So, yeah. But that's what it can be like, guys, you know. Yeah. That's what we're saying. If you put it on autopilot and begin to learn how to use the systems and, you know, obviously spend some money, but you reinvest it back in. Hey, you know, for $25, just hit the link below and get in. Thanks.
That's right. You know, you got it. An income disclaimer if we haven't said it earlier.
Oh, sure, yeah, income.
Yeah. If we haven't said an income disclaimer, look, we don't know your talents or your abilities. You may be a person that has the greatest intentions in the world, but the worst follow-up known to mankind. You know, get off the couch, stop eating Doritos, stop being a wussy, and take some action, because that is when money is really created, when you take action. you know, and you follow up with that action. You have consistent action. Everybody in this call told you that it's consistency and action that gets results. It's not sitting on the couch. One thing, Tracy Walker hit me yesterday, and she hit me. She said, if you're not getting results that you want to get, then stop doing, this, that, and the other. And she hit me, man. She said, Xbox or playing video games. No, I'm addicted to playing video games. So I say that to say this. I got to start doing more activities such as creating content like this and videos and working with my partners here that you see on this panel to create better results. So if you're one of those lucky people that's watching this video, today is your day, because you're on one of these on this panel below. You're on one of our lists, and you get to work directly with us. And then you get to meet us face-to-face in Denver.
Yeah.
But you have to, in order to do it, you have to click the button below this video right now. Just get in. Who cares? If you're watching this video and you're still at this point, obviously you're a very serious person. So we want you on our team. Now, don't be wussied out when you go on the other page. You got to pay $25. Come on now. Be for real. Okay? So we want to see you on the other side, and we want to see you back next week. So next week, join us. But we want you to be on our panel as a special guest, because why? We want to see you. We want to catch you as far as when you're fresh off the turnip truck, when you just got in, and want to just talk to you and share the world, your dreams, your goals, and help you make money. Because that's where it starts. Start telling your story when you start. You've seen a video. You might have been watching us for the last couple of weeks. Okay? Now you decided to push the button, and then you tell the results of what happened when you pushed that button. Next week, live in front of all your peers. Let's do that. Any closing thoughts with anybody? No. So you know what
everything I've had to say has been said.
So with that being said, bye-bye. Thank you.
See y'all later.
Guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.